clearly the star of the day is IDFC Bank. Stock was up nearly 8%, and the thumbs up from the market comes because the bank reported a 21% rise in net interest income and a 132% rise in net profit. It improved its margins by 25 basis points if you only compare it year on year. And most importantly, that for the market is it reached the 1% ROA, return on assets mark, earlier than the market expected, and perhaps earlier than guidance as well. The management separately raised the FY27 forecast, or rather net interest margin guidance, to 5.8. The earlier guidance was 5.75. So much good news, and that explains the rise in the stock. Joining me now is Mr. V. Vaidyanathan, Managing Director and CEO of the bank. Good morning, Mr. Vaidyanathan. Excellent set of numbers, and the market is recognizing that. Let me start with your guidance. It's a very strong guidance that you have given, especially on margins. What gives you the confidence that you will be able to improve your margins from here on when getting deposits is still a tough game?
Lata, we've been breaking down cost of funds in the bank, the interest we pay to customers on the savings account, etc. So our cost of funds have come down by 45 basis points in the last 1 year alone. And even sequentially, quarter on quarter, it has come down. And that is directly translating to improved margin. That's what's happening.
Okay. Well, let me come to the other, guidance which on credit cost. That also is very impressive. The bank has reported the lowest ever GNPA and net NPAs as well. Now, there I have a couple of questions. One is that, only vehicle finance, you're not the only bank. Even IndusInd reported an increase in their SMA as well as in their NPAs in that subcategory. What's going wrong? And will you therefore pipe down on vehicle loans?
Lada, in our case, we actually disclose by category, including for vehicles, the SMA position of the bank. We don't only report NPA, we report SMA, it's a pre-NPA.
Yeah, even IndusInd did that, and they also showed the same thing. Yeah.
And then we also disclose the 0 to 30 bucket by the collection percentage. So, and finally, we not only disclose the SMA, but we also disclose for trailing 5 quarters. That is the ultimate disclosure.
Why is vehicles in a difficult position?
Not for us. That's what I'm saying. So maybe they can maybe do something better on that front, but not for us. Vehicle is doing very well, and told you the numbers are looking very stable. You can see the investor presentation. It's like 1% is SMA, and 1% SMA is very good because that's what is the pre-NPA stage that can go to NPA.
I have another question which I didn't understand actually. In one of your slides 47, you have given us the breakup of your expenses, and a very big 20% of your expenses is channel sourcing and another 24% is volume linked expense. What does that mean? I've not seen that category in other banks.
So the thing is, of course, we break it up and show to everybody, but our channel expenses is what we pay to our sourcing agencies like direct marketing associates and so on. As far as the other operating expenses concerned, these are also variable. I'll give you an example. If a book grows by 20% on the deposit side, you pay more DIGCC commission. If customers spend on the credit card, you pay more to Master Visa, etc. These are all variable expenses. So these are the kind of there's a long list of such variable expenses that go along with normal portfolio growth.
That is called volume linked. That is called volume linked.
That is called volume link. For example, if they are fraud monitoring systems, so you monitor a larger customer base. These are all examples of a variable linked expenses.
Okay. I mean, it's an excellent set of numbers, even in terms of credit cost and NPAs, as we were just discussing. You'll have reduced your provisioning. That is why your profit is 132%, obviously compared to year ago level. Why could you reduce this provisioning? Was it unusually high last time? Is it not a little risky to reduce provisioning?
See, this when you make provisions or you reduce it, they are not judgmental by human beings like us, thinking that, oh, we want to reduce or increase it. These are what, as per the portfolio, we take a certain percentage of the book. So the fact is coming down means portfolio itself is performing better. It's a formula, like, you take a certain percentage of 30 DPD, of 90 DPD, 120, 180. It's a formula. So it's come down because book is behaving better. Our credit cost, Lata, if you remember, since we've been discussing this for many years, I've always guided that our credit cost, when it used to be capital first, we used to have 3 to 3.5%. When it became a bank, because we came to safer assets, it became 2%. Now we move to more safer assets. So it's now come to 1.5 to 1.6%, which is what we're thinking for the year. So it's an evolution of the bank. We're coming to more safer and safer customer segments, credit costs coming down. That's how bank, when you wake up in 2020, 30 or 31 or 35, we don't want to be a 2% credit cost bank also, because we got to become a big bank by that time.
I'll tell you why this doubt comes. Because it is directly linked to your EPS and your profit calculation. Your profit all of last 4 quarters was around the 400 crore mark. Now it is 1,075. So should we accept that as normalized profit?
Yes, I think that, no, out of 1,075, close to about 200 crores was treasury income, because we had a trading income and some income like that. But you can say more like 900 crores is the more normalized profit for this quarter. But 900 is also 900. Like, if you remember, I used to say we'll get a closing distance of ROA of 1%. So this 900 is real. We think that next quarter after that, etc., credit cost, we think will hold up like this only, give or take. And by end of this year, you should see more, hopefully you should see better results.
Okay. I've put together another table. Once again, I want to give the bank every credit for performing on all parameters, but I'm asking the few difficult questions which were difficult for me. Now, your operating expenses again. Your operating total expenses is about 5,700 crore. Now, I'm taking other 3 lakh crore banks. IndusInd's cost is 3,600 crore. Yes Bank's is 2,880 crore. Federal's is 2,000 crore. And Bank of Maharashtra is some 1,700 crore. This was put together incidentally by one of your big investors. The question he's asking is, why is it that for a same 3 lakh crore, 4 lakh crore bank, your expenses are far higher? I know you are in the building stage, but this is substantially higher.
So first of all, Lata, you must ask your questions because you're asking on behalf of investors. So please feel free to ask me even the hardest questions. No problem with that. So with regard to the this thing, basically this bank's mix is different, Lata, because if you see OPEX, you should also see yield. Because most banks are comparing with, their average book yield may be around maybe 9.5 to 10%, maybe 9.5. In the case of IDFCs, we are running much higher, like 300 basis points more. So you should not only see the OPEX and not see the income. Because what has happened is that we do more of inclusive lending, and I'll tell you some statistics will really help you. Out of our 3 lakh crore book, close to about 75% is what all other traditional banks do, which is corporate loans, home loans, car loans, all the usual stuff. IDFC has extra 25% of the book. Just note this number, 25% of the book, in the truly inclusive lending to kirana shops, salons, chemists, small micro entrepreneurs, village level entrepreneur lending. This is not business every bank does. Where you get a yield of 22% in that businesses, your credit cost is 4 to 5%, maybe 4%. That's a model. Now you might say, why are you doing that? 2 reasons. One is it's our core DNA. We have built it for 15 years. It's a fantastic business. It is inclusive lending. And it gives us the alpha on ROA and ROE also.
I take your point. You're saying it's high risk, high return lending, but you all have managed your build in such a way that it is not high risk for you. I take your point on that.
It's not, one second, Lata. It's
high return model.
And risk is controlled. You see, yes.
I take your point. Yeah, I got that. For a traditional category, it would have been high risk, but you'll have controlled the risk. That explains the expenses. Unfortunately, out of time, Mr. Vaidyanathan, but that's because you joined late. Otherwise, I would have squeezed in 3 more questions. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, and many congratulations for an extraordinary performance. Stock still trading about 6 to 7% higher.